Dun 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 dun. Yeah, I still need some theme music for this show. Just some music. It plays in the background. Something really catchy and annoying. You know. Anyway, getting back to work on what is it? Yndrasta. Anyway, last episode we had worked on what did we work on last episode? The gemstones and doing some of those glyphs around the model. Oh, and the scroll. We also worked on that a little bit. And off camera, I had laid down another little bit of shading on the gold of the weapons, on the like up here on the spear and on the crossguard of her sword. I had also refined her flesh a little bit more. I had a look at it under the camera, and I just wasn't 100% behind where I was on the flesh, so I refined it a little bit more. Just basically I glazed in a few more layers of pallid witch flesh and white mixtures and that kind of thing. Just, picking out some of the very fine areas, getting her ears a little bit more shaped properly, and so everything feels a little bit more natural. And then, of course, I also used, what did I use? I used transparent brown from Paracro. I had used that on her belt and on the straps on her arm. And a bit of the chrome pokes through and adds a bit of luminosity to it, which I actually kind of dig, but I'm going to reinforce those highlights, I think. Basically, I think what we'll do is we'll probably just use, I don't know. What could we use? Bugman's Glow, I guess, we could use as a highlight color. Just a very light highlight color. Then maybe use Shopty Bone. Just a tiny little bit. Just to catch some little spots. In fact, I think maybe we'll jump into that right away. And then today, I think we're going to work on the weapons. I want to paint up the grips on the weapons, as well as start laying in some more highlights. And if we have time, then we will probably start laying in the transitions on the blades of the weapons. So on her spear tip and her sword. For those, I'm initially thinking of going with more of a cyan, maybe even pushing towards, like I might do a mixture of a blue and purple and lay that in, kind of going with a non-metallic look on those, basically because we can really, because we have so much chrominess going on this model that why not? And I think I'll echo those tones. I think I'll echo those tones in the wings once we get to the wings. I think after we get to these weapons, though, I think we'll leave it as such. I'll ignore the base for the time being. I just slapped, what was it, Mechanicus Gray? Yeah, it was Mechanicus Standard Gray on that. Just to knock the gloss primer off, or knock it down, just so that it wasn't conflicting with when I'm looking at this and seeing all the shininess back at me. So, yeah, that's where we're basically going to go with that. And, I also did the little gemstones. I did those in Nagroth Night. I just picked them out in Nagroth Night. Because I think those are going to be purple. But we're going to go with like a bright purple in those. So we'll do some extreme highlights on those. So, enough gum flapping from me. Let's get right to it. Open up my wet palette. I changed out my wet palette. So, it's a little bit more wet, as it were, as a wet palette, I guess it should be. I actually oversaturated the because I use paper towel, so it actually it's a little bit heavy with the paper towel, but that's okay. I also used an older parchment paper for it as well, but that's not really an issue. Where are we? Yeah. Kim, hey guys. She's really starting to look good. Yes, thank you. Oh, you know what? I forgot to turn on my Patreon chat. There we go. We're in the Patreon chat now. I forgot to do that. My bad. There's always one little detail I always end up missing. when I'm doing these streams. I always forget to turn on something or, post this or do that. Anyway, all right, really fast. I think, we're going to jump over to, you know what? Let's try out something. Let's try out Pro Rackwell. That we're going to use the transparent brown. This is, again, what I used as a base for the leather. But I'm also going to use some golden high flow white. Just to lighten up the color. I wasn't going to use Bugman's Glow and, all that. But I think I'll just use the brown and I'll just incrementally add a little bit of white. That should get us to our desired result. Let's give these a quick little shake. Give the white a shake. Alright, so let's take some of the white. Yeah, we'll find a little space right over here. Right here. Yeah. We'll put 2 drops down. Now, hopefully, the water doesn't get too hilarious on me. We're just going to add a drop of the brown. Actually, let's add 2 drops. Just because. Because we can. And let's take, let's just take a little bit of the white. I guess, no, we could take a little bit of the brown. I'm just going to take a tiny amount of brown into my brush, and then just slowly, whoop, geez Louise. I just dove right in. Looking more for that kind of color. Nah, maybe a little bit more. Let's go a little more. Actually, it's not bad. Right there. It's not bad at all. All right. So, let's start some highlighting. So basically with these, I'm not going to spend a great deal of time, building up the highlights and such. So it'll mostly be like an edging. And it's pretty light. It's pretty darn light. It's not bad. I think I want a little bit more brown. Yeah, somewhere around there. Just a little darker. That actually looks a little bit better. Let's go take care of these ones over here. The paint is fairly thin, so it is a bit more like a glaze we're laying down. And if we're not entirely happy with it, we can always, come back in and knock it down. Those are options. These little straps on the back side here. Yeah, that's not bad. Let's take just a bit more of this pure brown, throw a little bit of that in there. Almost like cocoa. Looks like cocoa. And on the belt. That. It's kind of hard for you guys to see the brown, but it's looking dark and leathery. Leathery. Like leather. Yeah, that's not bad. Let's get some of this lighter color going. Start putting in some highlights. Do this little strap first, I guess. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. Initially, I was going to use like Bugman's Glow or something, but I've obviously decided against that. Yeah. Do. Now, on a totally different subject, I just had for lunch an Impossible Whopper from Burger King. If you're not familiar with what that is a not meat Whopper. And I'm going to honestly say I couldn't tell the difference. Which means that either Burger King does not have meat in their burgers, or whatever recipe they came up with, it was just really kick-ass. I'm more inclined to believe that it was not so much meat in their burgers before. James and Kent, afternoon Chris, afternoon everyone, afternoon James and Kent. Hopefully you are well. I was just sharing my experience with the new Impossible Whopper? I think, yeah, it's Impossible Whopper. No meat. Not to say that old Chris is a vegan or anything like that. Far from. But it was tasty. It was tasty. That was a tasty burger. Sorry, I'm just building up some highlights here on the straps. Getting them nice and bright. Spending a little bit more time than is necessary to get those straps painted, but you know, you do what you do. You do what you do. And so far, the Pro Acryl and the Golden High Flow seems to work okay together. I've never done it before, I don't think. So I was a little bit curious. I think that's all the highlights that those need. James Kent, I would be a vegan if I was still allowed to eat meat. Wait, what? I would be a vegan if I was still allowed to eat meat. I don't get it. So you're a vegan because you're not allowed to eat meat? That doesn't make any sense. that makes zero sense to me. I eat meat. I fully endorse eating meat. I have nothing against it. I have long traditions of hunting, so that's pretty much where I come out on that. Kim, I find the golden color goes with any of the water-based acrylic brands. Yeah, it seems like that. It certainly does feel like that, doesn't it? It's a little too much color on the brush. Wipe that off. I just want to catch just this little bit more on the belt buckle. Just like that. Just there on the corner. Little doodad right there. That's too much. That's too much. Oh, I messed it all up. Messed it up. It's okay, because we can just come back in with some of the darker, pure, transparent brown. And then we can camouflage that boo-boo. Just like that. There, yeah, that's perfect. Perfect. Excellent. Excellent. In fact, I want a little bit darker brown. Oh, I actually missed some spots here on the belt buckle. So we'll use some of this brown and fix our boo-boo. Yeah. Yeah, that's the ticket. Yeah, that's better to me. There we go. Belts, straps, painted, done, moving on. All right. What's next? I guess we can work on the purple of the grips, right? Normally, I'd probably just do like a dry brush and an overbrush on those areas just to kind of quickly pick those areas out. I still may, but I think what we will do, because the other part of me kind of wants to build like a gradient throughout the whole handle rather than just catching just the edge details, but I don't know. Hard pressed. I think we're just going to catch just the details. I think we'll take our time and just catch those details. So, grab a little bit of Nagroth Night. Hi, Iron Guns. Chris, what do you recommend for a fireball effect? Colors, wash, etc.? All of the above, yes. For a fireball effect, if you're going to do a fireball effect on a model, he's doing like the Hadouken kind of thing. He's just Hadouken, throwing a fireball, right? Start off with your brightest color, being white. Base coat that section in white. And then I would, typically the way I would kind of do fire is I would work in transparencies. So I would use something like, golden transparencies or Pro Acryl transparencies or Citadel transparency, like the, like the contrast paints, right? Either way, all those things, all valid, all on the table. Really doesn't matter which one you use. But basically what I would do is the entirety of it in white, and then from the source of the fireball, that is the hottest, so that remains closest to white, and push the yellows out to oranges, and then just at the very end, just a little bit of red. Just a little bit. You can push it all the way to a dark red, even almost to a black. Again, it really kind of depends on what kind of fireball you're going for. Like something with like a lot of soot in the smoke, or if it's like a really intense bright fireball. Again, it all depends on which way you want to push the values. So, yeah. But, yes, as far as colors, yeah, I would start off with white. I like using something like, for example, you know, oh, geez Louise, bump the camera. Ceramite white. I like using that just to paint right on top of something, and then push the brighter tones. So if you've even primed the model in white, awesome, do that, and then you can build your brighter tones. So if the whole model is fairly bright, you definitely want to start off with a bright primer. Kim, that is a lot of work for something that small. As a handle, it will not show up that much on the model with all those things going on. I would catch the raised detail and use the time saved on more important detail. No, well, we're taking our time here with this guy. We're taking our time with the model. Yeah, I mean, like, this, by the time when we're done with this, I mean, she's going to make nice, pretty photos, right? And I posted on the Instagrams, even just using some of the colored light on just how, you know, how it plays on that metal surface. And it's just a lot of fun. And yeah, fun is fun, man. Fun is fun. I'm always thinking of the end game, man. Where do I want to go with it? I'm not worried about producing a lot. I'm more concerned with, you know, what I'm producing. I guess we can just slap this right here. Nice. Nagaroth Knight. Oh, you know what? Let's have some fun. Let's use some Screaming Skull to highlight the purple. Yeah, we're going to use Screaming Skull. This is basically going to desaturate the purple, but it's still going to remain within the realm of the purple. And if we're not happy with the saturation of the purple, we can always come back in and use a transparency to resaturate. Oh, yeah. You wouldn't believe where I keep my paint mixer. That's a joke. That's a joke, son. Yeah, we'll just slap this right next to it. Right there. So that's some Screaming Skull and some Nagaroth Knight. And to get this party started, let's, yeah. Now for the highlights, I think really just kind of down the center of the knots, I think is really where we want to place highlights. I was thinking of building color intensity towards like where her hand is gripping the weapons, so it gets brighter towards where her hands are gripping. I'm thinking something like that. Something fun. So let's take a little bit of Screaming Skull. Mix that into Nagaroth Knight. We're just taking the value of it down just a little bit. We're not like really pushing that color too far outside of Nagaroth Knight, but just enough so that when we start working with it, that we can see the transitions we're building. Yeah. In frame here? Yeah, I'm mostly in frame. So really all I'm doing is I'm concentrating on the color on each of the pretty much the folds, allowing it to get darker where they overlap. And that's really all I'm doing. build this color up to more intensity inside the fists. Again, if we want to push color brighter, we can always push it, and then we can use a shade wash or something like that to correct. Again, with painting, and especially when you're working in thin color, you can push color in directions and then you push it back, and you know, it's not always fixed. Again, it always seems like it's always this either or kind of mentality. I'm not sure why that is. Why people always have this, it's either this or it's that kind of mentality about painting, when painting is far more liberating than that. Far more. It isn't just this way or that way. It's many which ways. Something I've talked about for many, many years. Yeah, so we're just concentrating on the highlights, just where the things overlap each other on the handles. Now on this handle, it's a little bit harder to tell, so I'm just going to pick a spot and just highlight. And I'm kind of just picking out each of the little ligaments or segments, whatever you want to call them. With this color, I'm just going to run pretty much the entire length. But yeah. Yeah, it is almost tempting to just kind of do like an overbrush, essentially, on these areas. Just to catch these details. But yeah. So I think we're just going to end up building the highlight strong to one side of that. I am thinking. Which means that we can probably do it on this side facing outwards. Pretty much can just run it like an overbrushing. That's kind of what I'm doing. I'm just gently letting the brush run over the details and just catching just the high points. Just like that. Yeah. Interesting. It's definitely, I'm definitely seeing more purple in the values now. So next, we're going to take a little bit more Screaming Skull. A little bit more. Take a little bit more Niagara Night. Make a really light tone. That's what I'm looking for. And so like I said, I think I'm going to build the highlights towards where she's holding on to these weapons. Kind of like she is breathing life into these weapons. Something like that. Yeah. It's interesting. Gotta be careful. I don't want to over thin it, because then it's just gonna, the surface tension in the paint will just bubble up everywhere it goes, and I do not want that. Just glazing in some more of the little highlights in there. Let's see. Okay. Okay. I think that highlight went fairly well. Let's grab a nice healthy dollop of color. Let's mix that in. Yeah, that's a good color. I like that. It's almost lavender. Looks like lavender. It's like springtime. Some lavender. Now this one on the staff, we're going to try and build just a little bit more coloring towards our hands. So we're going to try and concentrate most of our highlights, and probably only about a third the way down the handle. Okay, I went a little further than a third the way down, but I think you kind of get the point. Catch this other side of the knot. Yeah. Do the other side. It's getting pretty thin. It's pretty thin. Not bad. Not bad at all. Yeah, it definitely reads a lot more purple now. Creating that slight little gradient in there. Catch this other side of the fold. go. We having fun? I think we're having fun. Yeah, I'm definitely liking how this purple's reading a lot more on the model. And I think when we get to the cloak, I think I'm going to do a similar highlighting for the cloak. I'm going to use Screaming Skull in the mixture to highlight it. Just for giggles. We're going to do the top of the staff here. Go. Yeah. I think one more highlight and we should be good. I'm thinking. I am thinking. Yeah, I only think one more highlight. So let's take Kim. Have you given some thought to what you're painting after her? I'm doing some skeletons for my Soulblight Gravelords, but it's taking a bit of time since I'm doing the metal on them as non-metallic metal. Thoughts as to what I'm doing after this model? Oh, no idea. Not a clue. Come on, man. Do I look like a man with a plan? And take a very generous amount on my brush. Mix that into the remainder. Yeah, you know what? Just a teensy bit more. I think that's light enough. I didn't want to push it all the way to Bleached Bone or Screaming Skull, but I called it Bleached Bone. Holy crap, I'm old. I called it Bleached Bone. Oh my god. Sorry, that's freaking funny to me. Oh, shit. James at Kent. Sculpting a green stuff cape while watching is actually turning out okay, but more importantly, so far, no green stuff under my nails. Yeah, for green stuff, working with green stuff, the biggest thing I found that works the best is for you on your tools, on your fingers, what have you. Little thing of chapstick, just chapstick, right? That is probably the best sculpting medium for green stuff. It just does not stick to your tools. It glides. You give it a day, and it pretty much evaporates off. And if it's not fast enough, then you can always come in with a little bit of iso alcohol and just wipe the surface down. Once the green stuff's fully cured, yeah, that's my favorite. Believe it or not, Chris does have favorite methods for things. I mean, straight up water. I've always heard of people using their saliva as the best, medium for, enabling cleaner sculpting. But yeah. Just a little bit right in there, close to her hand. Just to brighten that up a bit. And then we'll give it a break. And then we will see if we really want to resaturate the areas. I'm getting a feeling no, but you never know. You just never, ever knew. Kim, I got 50 ml box of Sculptor's Vaseline, and that is really good. Comes from Green Stuff World and is like $5, I think. Do you own stock in Green Stuff World? All the time you're telling me all about Green Stuff World. Something like that. Get the other side. Not bad, not bad. Kim, they got good products between Green Stuff World and Asterix. I get like 90% of my hobby stuff from them. They deleted the S because I put .com on behind. Oh, Green Stuff World? I don't know. Yeah, like there's very few things in Green Stuff World's catalog that interest me. Um, and everything else I've ever seen from them, it always seems like it was just a rebrand or a repackage. So like why go through a middleman for a product? That doesn't make any sense. When you can just go right to the manufacturer and get it. You know what I mean? Like why would I? Because basically, when for them to stay in business, they have to, you know, rebrand things. And I'd rather just buy the original from the manufacturer who initially built it. Oh, PK Pro. Oh. The McAllen. I'm always amazed at the mirror-like polish finish you are able to get on the metal parts. Well, I have a system for doing it. I've shared it many, many times on how I get this nice shiny chrome effect. Um, you know, yeah, it's not hard. It just, requires practice. It's really, really simple. I mean, I just use Spastix Mirror Chrome, Ultimate Mirror Chrome, right, from Spastix. That's what I use. And it's on top of a gloss black prime. You know, that's it. It's pretty straightforward, really. It's just once you start, knowing how to lay down the primer, getting good even coverage, making sure you've prepped the model properly and all that, and then of course, you know, laying down the chrome. How much to lay down? It really does not take much to get this entire model base coated. It requires like, it's really just a couple drops. Really, it's not a lot. Well, thank you. I'm glad you like it. I like it. I mean, I've been using it quite a bit in the last couple of years. I've mentioned it many times that Spaztic's Mirror Chrome is my favorite for miniature painting. Yes, I know Molotow Mirror Chrome is probably the best chrome, and I concur with that sentiment. But for our miniature painting needs, no, Spaztic's I think is a little bit better in that regards. That it cures faster, and it's durable. I've found that Molotow, even after it is fully cured, can still leave fingerprints and such on the surface, just handling it. You have to pretty much seal that right away, otherwise, you know, you're going to mess up your finish. And of course, when you're dealing with chrome paints and stuff like that, you totally have to be all about the finish. You have to totally be all about that. Because otherwise, what is the point? But yeah, Spaztic's is my favorite. Plus, too, they also have some really great color shift paints that go on really easily, look really good, and apply nice and easily as well. Most of the time when I'm working with this stuff, I am using an airbrush, so, but you can apply this stuff by brush. Is it going to be as smooth? It all depends on how well you know how to lay down a nice smooth base coat. If you struggle to do a base coat and get it nice and smooth, you'll struggle with these paints as well. You're just going to struggle. You just need to develop further into your repertoire of painting experience. Okay, one final highlight. I said that was going to be the last highlight, but I lied. We're going to go just a little bit more. Just a bit. I don't want it quite... I guess... No, that's pretty good right there. Maybe a little bit more. Whenever I mix paint, most of the time, especially if I'm just making this crap up as I go, most of the time I just mix to the eye. I'm only looking for a particular color, and once I get there, I know it, and then I proceed. I don't usually, rely too heavily on ratios, just because, especially when trying to describe it to other people, I talk in ratios, but yeah. Most of the time when I'm mixing and I'm just kind of making up a color scheme as I go, yeah, I just mix to the value of which I'm looking for and what I see. That's it. There we go. Yeah. It's lots of fun. James Kent, yes, I agree about the chapstick. Well, I stole it from one of your videos. Yeah, no problem. Go right ahead. Go right ahead. Yeah. Yeah, I'm liking that. I'm liking it. It still has plenty of purple to it, but it's not heavy saturation of purple, which is I'm okay with. Do, 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 do. Buggered that one up. Oh well. Yeah. Yeah, I'm mostly okay with that. Kim, and the Molotov Chrome is not good with airbrush. It's best with normal bristle. Yeah, it can be a little bit tricky with the Molotov Chrome, laying it by airbrush. If your PSI is up too high, it fogs, and yeah, it is a pain, especially on larger surfaces. Yeah, it is a bit of a pain. With the spastics, you just have to watch your PSI and how far you are working with the project. Because yeah, it does create dusting, but you just take like a microfiber cloth, right? Like you get with like, you know, the eyeglasses and stuff, right? You know, microfiber cloth, and you just wipe it down, and it pulls that dust, and it keeps that shine. It's straightforward. It's not rocket science. We're only going to push this highlight on the one side of the staff, just for visual sake. Just like that. Yeah. Yeah. What did we say was on the agenda today? Doing the leather, doing the handle, the weapons. Yeah, we're gonna. Oh yeah, I also got to correct up this black. This black on her spear is like glossy. I don't know if you can see it in the camera. If I bend it a certain way, yeah, you can kind of see there. See how it has a bit of a shine to it? Yeah, I got to add some highlights to it and knock that shine out. I don't want that shine there. I don't want it. I don't. I want it to be all nice and matte. Oh, beautiful matte finish. Not sure why I busted into a bit of a French accent there, but anyway. Anyway. Yeah. That's fun. All right. Next, let's get over to some black and we'll add some highlights. I think we'll stick with a normal gray highlight. Kim, I use some Tamiya finishing compound on the microfiber cloth when shining chrome on minis. Yeah, I don't know if it really needs the microfiber or the polishing compound, but I mean for larger surfaces, yeah. For minis, I'm not sure it's entirely necessary, but if you're getting really great results with it, then obviously by all means carry on. James Kent at Kim, is that available from Green Stuff World though? The Molotov, is the Molotov and the spastics available from? Are you James? Are you having fun at Kim? Is that what you're doing? What was I gonna grab? Shit, I don't remember. Oh, I was gonna grab the Abaddon Black. That's what I was gonna. Oh shit. Rolling over minis. I gotta get rid of some of these minis on my shelves. I got sprues all over my floor. I gotta take care of this crap. Or maybe, you know what? Maybe I will use Inky by Darkness. Just because I love it so. Yeah. Abaddon Black. Incubi Darkness. That's what we're highlighting. Oh, you know what I got to do? I got to do the in-between parts, like in her armor, like where her knee and her elbow and everything. I got to do those parts too. So, yeah, we might as well do all that at the same time as that weapon, since they're pretty much all going to be done the same way. Grab some Abaddon Black. Give it a good shake. Okay. Incubi. Give that a shake. James Kent, me? Never. Yeah. I know, I'm sure. Yeah, one of the few products from Green Stuff World that I was like, oh, yeah, that'd be pretty fun, is the rollers for doing bases. I like those things. Those are fun. They're fun. All right. We probably don't need this much black, but we're doing it. Let's find a space. Let's do some right here. Slap the black down. Rinse my brush off. Some Incubi Darkness. Kim, they sell Molotov at one of my local art stores. Yeah, around here they sell it as well. They sell it. Back when I was first heard about the chrome, I couldn't find it anywhere, and now it seems like it's everywhere. Which is kind of funny. That's how, how life goes, right? You don't find the product anywhere, and then all of a sudden, boom, it shows up everywhere. Everybody's carrying it then. But that's capitalism for your ass. Right for your ass. Sorry, I'm heading off into another direction over here. Yeah. Like, see, like when we were talking about Green Stuff World, right? Like I have these little things, right? The little leaf punches, right? But these art you can buy in any art supply place. There's all sorts of anywhere they do scrapbooking and stuff like that. They sell these little things, and so all it is just slapping their sticker on something, right? Anybody can do it. That's why I don't really put too much stock in Green Stuff World shit, because it's oftentimes shit you find elsewhere, right? Kim, they are nice. They have conductive paint for doing LED lights on models. I don't know anyone else that do that. Do what? The conductive paint? Okay, so we're going to take a little bit of the Incubi Darkness. Fairly generous amount here. And we're just going to mix it right into the black. We're going to push it to where it's mostly still black, but we can kind of see a difference. Yeah, right around there. That is pretty much where I'm looking for. Yeah, that's it. That's it. It's like, I'm sure the camera, you cannot tell. Wait. Oh, for the love of God. I have no idea who that is. Thank you for interrupting, though. Yeah, I'm familiar with the conductive paint, but yeah, I mean, I've never used it. Man, my LED game is so weak. That's one game that I need to up, is my LED game. Soldering and stuff like that, I hadn't done that since high school. All right. You know what? For giggles, I'm going to push the highlights on here. The bottom part, I'm going to push the highlight up. On the bottom, and the top part, I'm going to push it down. And yeah. Yeah. So with this, I'm just going to concentrate just on one side of the staff. Because then afterwards I can always hit it with a matte varnish and knock that shine out. Yeah. Yeah, with this initial tone. Yeah, I don't know if the camera sees it. No, shit, no, the camera can't see that. You can see it's there, but it's not. It's not. And they have the biggest selection of dry pigments. Who's they? Who are we talking about? Because we're talking about 2 or 3 different manufacturers there in the last couple sentences, so I don't know who we're talking about. Yeah. Yeah. Go. Do the front side. Okay. Already with it looking more matte, already just from that one application, liking it a lot more. Already. Ready spaghetti. So, GSW. Oh, they produced the Conductive Paint, and they have the largest selection of dry pigments. Well, how do you know they have the largest selection? You ever looked at Secret Weapon? Secret Weapon has a huge selection. Do those in between spots. There we go. Yeah. other knee. Okay, take a little more Inky by Darkness, add that in. Oh, excuse me. That's that Impossible Burger coming up. It's impossible. It's impossible. Go. The fun part of when you do finer and finer highlights, you work less and less distance. Really, I think the main point is just to knock a lot of that shine out of those surfaces, just so that it makes the chrome metal all the more chromy. Take a little more Inky by, mix that in. Oh, we're damn near pure Inky by Darkness at this point. Damn near. Do-do-do. better. Better. Yeah, that was a crappy attempt at whistling. In case anybody was wondering what the hell that sound was. You know what? Oh wait, I didn't do the cloth bits yet. But you know what? I think we're gonna have a bit of fun here. In a second, I'm gonna add a final highlight onto some of these folds and corners. And for that, I'm gonna do something fun. Just a little bit of fun, not too much fun. You can't have too much fun. But, as I say, fun is fun. Okay. Yeah, I think we're going to have a little bit of fun here. I'm going to take a little bit of Screaming Skull. I'm going to add it to this mixture of Incubi and black. Just to bring the value up. It's really not a lot I have on the brush here. But we're going to add this in and just knock this up. Knock it up. And bring it up just a bit. Yeah, somewhere around there. Look at that. Maybe back down a bit. Yeah, come back down a bit. Yeah, right around there. Look at that color. That's a fun color. And what does Chris say? Fun is fun. Yeah, I like that. This is just going to be just for a little bit of edge highlight. I'm going to try it on the cloth sections first. And then we'll move on from there. Yeah. It's very, very thin, just because of the nature of how much water has gotten into this mixture by now, but that's okay because we can glaze this in a few times, and if need be, we can really kind of, transition it up a bit. If need be. Yeah, it will really need be. But the very light tone. Right in that elbow space. Yeah, I like it. That way the color doesn't get too cold on us. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. I like it a lot. I guess I gotta get the other inside of the other knee. There we go. Okay. Now let's just do the edge highlight on the weapon. And we can move on. What time we at here? 1:22. Runtime, not the actual time. Somebody's out there's like, is it 1:22? We went back in time? No! Alright. This might have to get applied a couple times. Oh, it's 100% going to be applied a couple times. Yeah. Just a final little layer right on that edge. Yeah. I likes. Me likes. Me likey. Oh, I gotta figure out a comfortable position here. A little too much color there. Yeah, it's too much on my brush. Siphon that out. I said siphon. There we go. Yeah. I am mostly okay with that. Mostly. I am mostly okay. Let's do this face. Oh, fuck. Hit the spike. There we go. Yeah. It might be a little difficult to see on camera here, but there is highlights in those black areas. It's tempting. It's tempting to hit it with another layering of white scar. It's tempting. I don't think I will, though. I probably should just leave it alone. Alright. What's next? What is next, people? I'm going to have a sip of coffee. Work on the blades or work on the handles? Like the cross guards? Oh, dear, 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 dear. Yeah, we probably should just start with some pushing the shadows. Oh, you know what? I didn't really talk about what I did I? Basically, I had came in with the Minotaur Metalsmith bronze copper ore, and I basically used that in a thinned out fashion and just pushed some of the shadows on the weapons. Initially, I was going for more just kind of like a shade wash, where it's just kind of letting it fall where it may. But I'm thinking now that I might be more deliberate and intensify the color. Which one's this? Aging Base Ancient. What the hell is that? I can't even tell what color this is. Looks like a gray. Not interested. What's this? Aging Base Old. That's another gray. What's this? Blue Ore. Ooh, that's a nice blue. That's a blue. That's almost a cyan. What's this one? Carbon Iron Ore. That should be a black, right? Assuming it's called carbon. Should we go in with a black? Or should I mix a little bit of the copper and black? We could also mix the blue in as well. Red? No, we don't need red. That's the metals, yeah. Yeah, I'm toying with the idea of using carbon iron ore. It's a black. I assume it's a black with a name like Carbon Iron Ore. But anyway, yeah. These are essentially just like Minotaur's ghost tints. These are a lot of fun to use. Or should I just build up more intensity with the bronze copper? Now these go on completely transparent. So, yeah. You know what? Let's see what black and copper look like. I just want to darken up the copper. Just giving it a mix. A thorough mix. Have I even opened this? I have not. Nice. Nice. It's not coming off in one go. I love when that happens. Perfect. Yeah, now I got flakes and stuff. Nice. Perfect. Perfect. Hold on. I'm mucking with my eye holes. I'm just basically blading off the lid. Or the lid. The thing. Yeah, it's a very, very dark color. It's very, very strong. It's actually quite translucent, though. You can see it on the skin there. Interesting. Interesting. I don't know if I've ever really used the black from Minotaur. I don't think I really have. Now, I've used Golden's shading gray. I've used this many times. But I've not used the carbon ore. I am a little curious. Greenleaf Terrain Studios. Hush now, child. Way of the Brush is on. Bursh. The Way of the Bursh. Way of the Bursh. Kim. Black and blue will make like a Payne's gray. And that mixed with copper is probably a nice color. Mucking with my eye holes. Is that a Django reference? Yeah. Yeah. Hold on, I'm fucking with my eye holes. Love that movie. Actually, my son and I were just talking about that. Pulp Fiction, Django Unchained, probably the best Tarantino films. Pulp Fiction, Django Unchained. With Inglourious and Jackie Brown, very close seconds. Jackie Brown's a great film. If you've not watched Jackie Brown. Alright, so I'm going to lay a little bit of the copper down. Yeah, just a drop. Because we're just doing some deliberate shadows in the weapons. And then we're going to take a little bit of the black. Probably don't need that much of it. So we'll just add just a drop onto the palette. Now, these are already sitting on the wet palette. And you know, moisture is adding to them. So every second we delay, we run the risk of overthinning. So I'm just going to take a very generous amount of the black, like that much. It's just, and then we're going to mix that right into the copper. Damn, we could have probably mixed this right into the copper. I barely notice a value change in the copper. The copper, if you are using different paint lines and what have yous, the copper is like almost like Sigor brown in Citadel contrast. That's the level of brown it is. I'm going to add a little bit more of the carbon black. Yeah, it's darkening it. And it's actually kind of like neutralizing the brown quality. It's almost like the carbon black is not black. It is like a dark gray. It's really, really dark. Interesting. Again, I've not used, even in the other Minotaur ghost tints, I have not used the black that they use. Smoke, I think is what they call it. Or is that Tamiya? I don't know. I can't remember. But either way, I have not used it. All right. Kim, I liked Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Yeah, I liked it too. Those Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and Hateful Eight are lower to the bottom. Now, mind you, when I say lower to the bottom, I'm talking already these movies are better than most. So being at the bottom of the list is not a bad thing. It's just, you know what I mean? Like, most other movies are way below that anyway. So, you know. I watched Wrath of Man the other night on Netflix. That Jason Statham one with Guy Ritchie directing. Yeah, Guy Ritchie, he's earned a place in my heart again. Especially after he did fucking Aladdin. Yeah. He's earned a place in my heart once again. Guy Ritchie. But it wasn't bad. Wrath of Man. It was not what I was expecting. I was expecting to be just a silly Jason Statham movie, but it wasn't. It wasn't. It actually tells a fairly cohesive story. And of course, it's in that Guy Ritchie fashion, so it, you know, has that fast edits and, you know, interesting camera angles and all those things. It was good. I actually enjoyed it. I was surprised that I enjoyed it as much as I did. Surprised. Basically with this, I'm just highlighting the undersides, or shading I should say, the undersides of details. It's kind of just making more contrast. And as I'm doing this, I'm thinking now I probably should have used like a dark green. I think a dark green actually would have given me a look much more interesting. Yeah, so basically you can see I'm pushing a darker tone at the bottom side of the gold as opposed to it staying fairly bright gold above. But yeah. Yeah. It was a nice secret society we had once. Kim, that was good. I like most of his movies. Wrath of Man was good. Not a good as Rock and Rolla, Snatch, and Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. No, it's not that level. But, I mean, after watching Aladdin, you know, it makes all his other, like The Gentleman. I liked The Gentleman. The Gentleman was good. I enjoyed that one. But yeah. It's not a very high bar to set. You know, not in my opinion anyway. Yeah, it probably is not terribly noticeable on camera, but yeah, I'm liking it. Kim, he only did Aladdin to make money, I bet. Disney. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure Aladdin was a payday. They said, Guy Ritchie, we want you to direct a movie for us. And he was like, oh, okay. Just drive the truck full of money up to my house and I'll make your movie. We want you to do Aladdin. And he's like, yeah, okay, I'll do Aladdin. What do you want me to do? Something original? Something great? Put my take on it? No, we want it to be exactly the same as the cartoon, but with more crap. And they're like, oh, all right. You know what I mean? Like, it's just kind of crap. And I'm sure, because, like, for a long time, there's rumors that Quentin Tarantino was going to do a Star Trek movie within the realm of Star Trek, right? Which sounds like a fantastic idea. And I was really, really excited about that and looking forward to something like that. But I don't think that's going to ever happen. Now, I don't know if how true it was or what have you, but yeah, I don't think it's ever going to happen because the mushheads over at CBS probably can't keep their fucking hands away from the scripts and stuff like that and not tell Tarantino, you know, what he should do in his story. Like, he has an idea for a story, and you know what I mean? Like, just let the fucking creatives create. Like, why do these bean counters and stuff always got to be sticking their damn noses into this shit and mucking up perfectly good films or reinterpretations of a film, or you know what I mean? Like, it just piss me off. Bean counters piss me off. Bureaucrats piss me off. Anyway, where was I? Before I get all mad. I want to do a little bit of highlights on the gold. And I was thinking of using one of my favorites, Scale 75. They have a really wonderful gold. Oh, where is it? Where be the gold? Citrine Alchemy. The bottles rest mostly on their sides. That's why it looks all mucked up like that. But yeah, I'm going to use just a little bit of Citrine Alchemy. Yeah, I think just Citrine Alchemy. Sorry, I'm looking up out of the colors here. I might use White Alchemy on some of the chrome. Yes, believe it or not, we might use some White Alchemy on some chrome. That's just to deliberately pick out some of the corners. It's going to get used very sparingly, but yeah. So let's play with the Citrine Alchemy first. Kim, don't think so either. They would not give Star Trek to Seth MacFarlane, so I don't think Tarantino will get it. Yeah, I know, and that's unfortunate. And that has cost them, like, they've made those dumb choices to their detriment. Not giving Seth MacFarlane Star Trek to do TV shows, and not giving a movie to Tarantino. Like, are they morons? Like, yeah, they're gonna go in different directions, but they're gonna stay true, and they're passion projects, so they're gonna have lots and lots of love in them. You know what I mean? Like, so, like, why wouldn't you want somebody like that to create something for you using your IP? Like, it just doesn't make sense. Jabba's Left Nut, is your volume low or is it my settings? My volume's probably low because I'm not that close to my microphone. So, yeah. I mean, my microphone is more than an arm's length away from me. So, it's not you. It's me. Alright, we're giving the Citrine Alchemy a mix. Can you hear my mixer running? Set the tooth chipper. Yeah, I think just a very minimal highlight. And I think we'll exaggerate some of the placement of highlights. I think. Jabba. No. No? Okay. Kim, McFarlane is supposed to be the biggest Star Trek fan. He would do it justice. Oh, he would. He totally would. Orville is Star Trek. So, like, I don't understand what their frickin' problem was. You know? And I think good for him. I mean, you know, screw them dummies. Short-sighted bean counters, you know? Just short-sighted. I can't stand short-sightedness, man. People who lack vision, just annoy the crap out of me. Let's find some space right here by the bleached bone. Of course, it's not coming out. You slimy dog. Dropper bottles are the best. I fucking can't stand that argument. I'm just using an ice picker to knock that out. There we go. Dropper bottles are the best. I just love egging people on like that. Are you serious? Is something caught up here? Maybe the agitator's caught? Yeah, something's got to be caught, because that's not... And I'm not squeezing that too hard, because otherwise the shit's just going to come flying right out. Oh, it's all over my goddamn work area now. Shit. Got little gold bits all over the place. Alright. Yeah, so we'll put that over there. We don't really need that much anyway. So yeah. What time are we at here? Oh, 17 minutes. Got plenty of time. Plenty of time to do some edge highlighting on some gold. And in fact, if it looks like crap, well, we can always cover it up. So I think on the sword, we will place the highlights on this side of the sword. On the staff, yeah, I think we'll place the highlights on this side of the staff. Yeah. Sound like a plan? Sounds like a plan. Kim, I have this coffee maker cleaning thing that's perfect for pucking out dropper bottle tips. A coffee maker cleaning thing. Send me a pic. I don't know what you're talking about there. Send me a pic of the cleaner thing. Always have to specify that when talking to you guys. I'm joking, of course. I'm joking. I'll post a pic in the Discord. Yeah, please do. Please. Yeah, so let's just do just a little bit of a very light edge just at the corners. No, I said light edge. You son of a... Okay, I lied. Around this little gemstone thingy, I'm going to do more of the highlight. Yeah. I'm doing just a very minimal edge highlight. I'm trying not to go ham with it. I think we've talked about that in the past. Kind of just, you know, not going too crazy with your highlights, but sometimes it is difficult. Because you see how something looks and it works, and it's like, oh, yeah, I like that. We'll use it here. We'll use it there. We'll use it everywhere. And, yeah. Now, you'll notice that the sword, that the cross member there, it becomes a lot more visible now. Because the highlights are consistent. As opposed to when it was just chrome and how the light played on its surface, right? And so that's kind of what I want to do with the chrome as well. I just want to do just like the very tops of sections, just so that in medium light, it looks kind of, you know, more vibrant, I suppose. Yeah. Catch just the rivets. Just the corners of stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I already like how that looks. I like that it gives me a slightly different look than the rest of the model. I like that as well. So it doesn't all feel samesies. Even though it was chrome on the armor, chrome on the swords, right? Chrome everywhere. Yeah, me likey. Just want to catch some more of those rivets though. Paint's a little bit thin. It's okay. I hope. Yeah, there we go. There we go. With these highlights here, I'm going to bring them back this way. Just like so. Like so. Yeah. Yeah. I'm liking it. I'm still liking this whole model. I'm still liking it. Believe it or not. I know usually I'll lose interest, get annoyed. But no, I'm still enjoying myself here. I'm still having fun. You know, we're not pushing the boundaries too hard with this model, but that's okay. You know, every project we do does not have to be, earth-shattering, groundbreaking type of thing. It's really as long as you're happy, right? That is the most important part when painting your models, is that you're happy with where you went with the project. Yeah. Yeah, I like how it looks. All right, we'll do the other spear. The spear. Spear and a pancake. I am almost tempted to use the gold on the comet tail, right on the central spine of the comet tail, to help create that separation between the two. Oh, should he do it? Probably not, but we're doing it. Here we go. Can't turn back now. Oh, messed it up. Yeah. Give this a moment. See if I even like it. The yellow is really faint. In low light, you should see the highlight. Sorta. You can kinda see it. Kinda. Sorta. Not really. Alrighty. Let's finish this spear tip. And she's pretty thin. It's okay though. Spear tippy. Jeez Louise. That scared the crap out of me. Strawberries? Strawberries? Thank you for the follow. Strawboys? Strawbrios? I can't say the name. I'm sorry. I'll just say thank you and welcome. And for scaring the crap out of me with that chime. All right. Back to work. So again, we're just going to catch this side with the highlights, but around the gem clasp, I am going to probably go around the entire perimeter. Just because it looks cool. And because I can. And it's my model. I'll do whatever the hell I want. You can't make me. You're not my dad. You're not my dad, man. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I like that. Just picking up that gem clasp in the brighter gold, it just looks a lot better. Yeah. Yeah. Just gonna do just a little bit. Oi. Nepharsis joined us on Discord. Welcome. Are you the same person that just joined us on Twitch? I forgot what platform I'm streaming on. Completely forgot. Drew a blank. Oh, Nepharsis. No, I'm here as well. Oh, okay. I thought maybe it was the new person that followed. Stromboli. I'll just say Stromboli. I could go for Stromboli right now, actually, but anyway. Yeah, I laugh at my own jokes all the time. So, don't let that shock you. It's a shame nobody finds me as funny as I do. Just doing this clasp very, very carefully. Yeah, you know how I know I'm really getting into this model is I'm working on it off camera. I was going to stream more progress last night or the other night when I was working on this, but I didn't because I didn't feel like it. And yeah, that's how I know I'm into the model, because I'm working on it without filming it, and I'm having fun with it, and I'm just taking my time. I can't remember the last time I have worked on a model this long. Now, mind you, I mean, how many episodes are into this project are we? Like 4 or 5? This is, I think, the 5th video. And these are all about 2 hours. So, you know, it's only spent about, 10 hours on this thing so far. But, I mean, 10 hours of progress. I mean, we've gotten, some nice detail going on. And, yeah. Kim, how about taking some pics of her and put out on Insta? Pics are sometimes better at picking up stuff than camera. Yes, well, that's what I had done. I had done that, and initially, in previous episodes, I had worked on the face, and I was not happy with where the face was, and so I actually was spending a bit of time off camera, just refining some of the highlights and such. So, yeah, because I took a picture of it and I was like, oh, that doesn't look right. I was seeing some paint chunkiness to it, and I didn't want that. And I still kind of see it now, but it's not as bad as what I was seeing before. I can still see a bit of, when you kind of overwork the paint. Yeah, I was kind of seeing that, and so I wasn't happy with that. But otherwise, yeah, I'm mostly okay with where we're going with all this. Mostly. Okay. Yeah, and again, it is kind of tough to tell on camera, just because basically I have to turn this camera down, because I mean, like, you can see how harsh the shadows are and stuff like that. And yeah, it's mainly because this model is really, really shiny. Because this model is chrome. Like, it's mirror chrome, right? I mean, look at the breastplate and you can see my reflection normally. Yeah, you can see the reflection of my finger in the surface. That's how chromey this is. It's chrome. Chrome. It's fun though. I don't think I'm done with the scroll either. I think I want to work a little bit more on that scroll. I don't know. Again, I think Friday. We're streaming again Friday. Although I might work a little bit off camera with some of the stuff. I'm thinking that I might start laying some color down on the stonework. I don't know. Or I may just start base coating and getting this ready for painting. Because I definitely want to attach this and get this ready. I'm trying to decide whether or not I just want to hit this stuff with chrome by brush or mask it all off and apply it by airbrush. Hard to say because it's only this little comet here on her hip and her back armor. I believe this should be chrome. So, yeah. The tree's going to stay opaque, which is why this is all primed in a gray. And her cloak is going to be a base of Nagroth Night. So you probably can imagine the direction I'm going with this. Now, does anybody know, right? Does anybody know what my inspiration is for this color palette? This bright silver with the purple. And I've teased this before, but I have done this color scheme before. I have done this before. Do you win a prize for getting the right answer? Hard to say. But, yeah. All right. We're going to close up shop. Put my cover on my wet palette. And I want to thank you guys for tuning in today, for joining me, and for conversing, and for, just being the awesome folk that you are. Frykin, Camelot, King Arthur. No. That's not it. That's not it. It is. I don't know if I've done any videos on it, but it is something. If you probably look at my Instagram, you might find it. I think there's a picture of the model on my Instagram, but it was painted a while ago. We're talking years and years. Oops, shit. I almost hit that. Damn paint. Got paints, models, sprues all over the damn place. Alrighty, folks. Yeah, we're going to cut her there. That's it for the moment. I want to thank you guys. She wants to thank you. We got a fair amount of work done, I think. Right? Because we got, shit, what did we do? What did we do? Oh, we finished it. We highlighted the belts and the leathers. We did the handles of her weapons as well as the black parts on the weapons. And we did just a quick little edge of gold onto the gold portions of her spear and sword. Everything is moving along nicely. Not quickly, but nicely. And yeah. Yeah, I think probably I may jump back on stream later. I may not. Don't be surprised if I do. Don't be surprised if I don't. But either way, I want to thank you guys. Huge thank you to patrons. And take care of those brushes. They'll take care of you. I will see you guys laters. Laters. All right, theme music. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Ooh, that almost sounded like I was busting into James Bond there. No, that wasn't it. That's not James. What the hell am I thinking?